What's up, guys? Marty with teambeige here, and today we are back with another deck profile. And today I'm here with my boy Alistair. He and his team got first place at the Cave Fairfax's 3v3 this last Friday. We ended up playing them. My team ended up playing them at, I think it was round 3. They were crazy. It's well deserved. And before we get into the profile, wanted to shout out the Cave Fairfax for hosting the 3v3, and they'll be hosting another singles tournament this upcoming week and streaming it on their Twitch. I'll put the link down below. But first, let's get right into things. I'm going to introduce y'all to the boy, Alistair. Alistair, tell us about yourself, how you doing, and tell the people what you played.
Hey, yeah, so I'm Alistair. I'm doing pretty well. I've been playing this deck for a while, ever since the days of hashtag free rice hard tilts backwards. But yeah, no, I've been liking this deck, this format. It's like, I think it's the best non-fire deck this format, aside from like maybe branded, but like that's kind of neither here nor there. But I've been playing this deck for a while. It's pretty good. I like it. Snake Eye players, please don't get my cards banned.
I'm going to do my best, but I probably will.
Yeah, but for context, my team, I was playing Cash. My team members, Andy and Trey, were playing Snake Eye and Flu, respectively. It's the two shifter decks of the squad. What could you do? But we did pretty well. I didn't lose a match. Lost a couple. I lost most of the game ones I played, but games 2 and 3 I was able to bring it back. So yeah, we can just get into the cards if you want.
Yeah, sure.
But
Any shout outs before we go into this? I know you mentioned your team.
yeah, shout out Andy, shout out Trey with the flu goo. Shout out Curio Cavern, and shout out teambeige for recording this. So yeah.
All right, sounds good. Let's get into it.
All right, let's get into it. So from the last time you've seen, the engine ratios have not changed, but I'll just, for a refresher, 3 Unicorn. My glare is atrocious. Oh my god. So yeah, 3 Kashtira Unicorn, 3 Fenrir, 1 Scareclaw Cash, 2 Rise Heart, and 1 Ogre. I've been liking these engine ratios, and this card in particular came up a lot for like stacking my opponent's deck in grind, where I was like, oh, okay, I'm not letting you see that prosperity on the top of your deck. I'm not letting you see that whatever. So it was like, this card was clutch. This card's also good for ripping extra decks. Didn't come up that much today, or on the cave when I played, but it was good. Yeah, all in all, standard cash engine ratios wouldn't really change much, aside from maybe playing 1 more Rise Heart, but I don't think I need it. I just don't have that much space.
That's valid.
Hand Trap, 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Ghost Spell, 3 Shifter, best card, 3 Imperm. So I'm actually playing less hand traps than I was last time, just because I figured I didn't really want a main Droll for this tournament, just because like it was either between main Droll or main Bell, and like Droll is kind of not that great into pure Snake Eye, at least by itself. But this deck can't play like Nib, which is like the other power hand trap that most people pair with it. So like I figured this is better. Like this is mostly as a going second card for if they have a Princess Engrave, and you can stop that. You can stop that, and then you can usually play into the rest of the board pretty well. It's also like just 3 extra copies of Ash against Voiceless, which was nice. Stops the branded card from FTKing you. That's good. Imperm's Imperm, Ash Sash, Shifter. Enough said. The rest of my non hand shots are pretty like self-explanatory, but I think this is the most questionable one, and may or may not end up being like cited come Raleigh. We'll see how that goes.
That's fair. It makes sense,
But
though. Did you like miss something instead, like Mourner? Because I've seen like that is also the alternative. At least being like
more,
you can discard it under Shifter and it being a level 3.
yeah, I've tested Mourner, and it's not bad, but there were it just didn't feel like it was super impactful every time I used it. But since this is like like but that was also like all DB testing. Maybe in person for time it matters more, but I just felt like it wasn't that impactful whenever I was using it.
Yeah,
So
no, that makes sense. I
yes,
like your reasoning for Ghost Spell though. I was actually thinking about that recently when I was trying a Snake Eye Cash, but even like I might even consider it for Snake Eye. But yeah,
yeah, it's great. It's great. I mean, there was a game, I think it was round 2, where like I had Bell cause well, we'll get to that card later, but like I had Bell and like it stopped. That was the only reason I was able to keep playing the game, is I stopped the princess and was able to keep like actually like playing into the board, which was nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, spell cards, planet starters. This I hate this card sometimes because Typhon conflict, whatever. That came up a lot. 3 Theosis, 3 Birth, best card ever, 1 Terraforming. Yeah, those are just standard engine ratio
Yeah, max
cards.
consistency. Birth is really
Yeah.
good into like snakes, I think.
No, this card's insane into everything. This card's like they activate branded fusion, they just lose. That resolves. Get into snakes, get into like sometimes voiceless. Like there's just a lot of times randomly, like against Fire King too. I didn't play against Fire King yesterday, but a lot of the time against Fire King, if you can like forcibly remove the field spell face up, and like you can like force it to trigger and then just like destroy their graveyard, which like is kind of nice.
Yeah, it's
Comes up
crazy.
occasionally. 3 Prosperity, max consistency, and then this is new, but I played 2 Thrust in the main just because honestly I just did not know what to play in the main, where I was like, you know what, let me just try this card. And it wasn't terrible. It was like, okay, I just lets me grab talents whenever I want to. Even going first, it's like if I set an imperm, it's not that bad. Like it's still decent value. I ended up setting Thrust for imperm like once or twice, but it was also nice. I played 1 Kashtira Mirror, and this card is like insane in the Kashtira Mirror because it lets you grab like this or whatever other engine card you want.
Yeah, so Search Terraforming, I hear, is like a classic.
It is a classic, yes. It's very nice. And then the 1 prep card's good. Lets you do a lot of setups against like, because a lot of people try to get greedy. If you do like the Cybers combo, a lot of people will try to just like, oh, they're not setting up a negate, I can Nibiru them at the end of the turn, and you can just like set up like Heat Soul and an SP with like and go like SP banish your Fenrir in the graveyard, and then like they try to nib you, and then you just dodge it, and then you have this set up anyway. So it's like you have all your engine in rotation. It gets evenly matched. It's nice too, but yeah, it's a good card.
Very nice.
So yeah, that's my main deck. Extra deck is basically not changed, but I have like some like thoughts. So yeah, Cyber's cards, 2 Link Spider, Crystal Heart, Heat Soul, access code. I only went into this one time, and it was to force out a Nibiru going second, which was like it was kind of funny, but I mean it did force out the Nibiru. It did what I wanted it to do, so it was like kind of nice. But I don't know. I just did. I would still play it, but there are just some events where it doesn't come up, and there are some events where it does. Like you just do it all the time, so like it's nice. I do a lot of the time. I do a thing where like access code banish itself to like pop a thing, and then to, like keep some of the cash cards, which is kind of nice. But
There
yeah,
you
these are yeah, that's Cyber's cards. Press IP and SP. This card's broken. This card is in theory nice. I never made it, but it's like in grind a lot of the time. Or for sometimes under shifter you make this in like a Draco sack, and it's nice. And you can have like go IP into SP under shifter, or like there are situations like turn 3 and beyond where like you want to set up a disrupt and then IP into SP comes up, but this I might consider. I'm on the fence about this card for like Raleigh, but I like it right now.
Sure.
Red Eyes. This card is disgusting.
I watched you beat Amar with it.
Yeah, it's
for
like
context, when we played, I was able to beat. It was Trey, Andy, who it was. So we did the Snake Eye Mirror. Harrison was against Trey on Flu, and Amar was against you. And we were all 3 of us were playing Snake Eye, and I beat Andy, but I was watching like y'all to my left, and I was like, this is rough. Because Amar had like
crazy.
I think it was like 400 life points left, and you would flare metal,
exactly 400.
And there's like
crazy.
no way to deal with it.
He outed it, but like there was the thing about this card is like, well, one, it forces you to out it, but like even in that game with Amar, it's like, okay, even if he does out it, you have to go like somewhat minus to do it. It's like he had like normal Snake Eye Ash, no effect. Summon like Jet Synchron or something. I don't remember what it was, but like He like made Savage without activating any effects and then read over it, which is like fine because I survived and like was able to like crack back on the next turn / time. But yeah, so that
I'll
card's
be real.
good,
I think you had it regardless, looking at what he had left. So
probably.
shout out to
But
Mar.
uh, shout out to Mario, yeah, of course. Against Flus is also great because like you put them on like 2,500, like 2,000 to 2,500 or less. You make this and like have like any removal ever, like a Fenrir or a SP, and then it's like they have to like they kind of just like die
Yeah.
because they have to like do a million actions to do anything. Draco Sack, that's just your combo guy enabler. Uh, Dark Arm, the best Zeus enabler going second. He also let me shifter Amar twice in the same game. That was kind of funny, because you can
We're
you
just
can
dragging
banish.
Amar at this point, which
Yeah, you can banish him from your graveyard, the shifter, and then
it's
like just shifter
disgusting.
them again on the turn 3. That was the only reason why I won that game. I'm not gonna lie, like
That's absolutely disgusting.
absolutely correct. Like this man had all the gas, and I was like, okay, I have to turn this off. I can't let you play the game. Harmonizer Gradiel. This is the card. It's one of these cards. Is like, okay. So for context, I'm not playing Big Eye,
Okay.
and I haven't missed Big Eye until today because I played one mirror, and I was like, dang, I kind of wish I had Big Eye in this mirror, but like, I don't have it, and I expect there to be at least 1 or 2 mirrors at Rally, and like, I didn't needed to win the game, but I feel like it would have been nice to have. And this card is more so for like rogue decks and voiceless and things like that nature, where it's like, okay, I'm going to like Curio Springfield. I need this card because there's like 20 branded Chimera players, but like or like Labyrinth or whatever. But like I feel like those decks like aren't as popular like in like like a YCS or something like that. So I feel like this card may be cut up. It's one of these two is getting cut for Big Eye.
Sure.
We'll figure that out. But anyway, Shangri-La, it's a good
Yeah.
card. Zeus and Typhon, the duo, they're good cards. Again, I hate that race off doesn't let you use this card's effect, but like,
It's the
it's a good
principle
card.
that matters at that point.
Yeah, it's the principle that matters. Sometimes against Vanadium, especially, also it's like okay, it's nice. I didn't play against Vanadium, but like it exists. And then Baron, you do summon this a lot, where you have like a
Normal summon
that's part of
Bell.
the, that's yeah, that's part of the reason why I like wanted to main Ghost Bell, even if it's like not that useful as like an actual disruption. It's more so like okay, like going first. This is another card that lets me make Baron and like not care about anything. So
Yeah, I mean
it's nice.
Unicorn like plus if you have like 3 hand traps in your hand plus Unicorn access, Baron Unicorn Birth, 2 hand traps. That's
Yeah, yeah. If you open like Unicorn and a Birth or Theosis and have like a Bell in her hand or like an Ash in hand, sometimes you want to keep the Ash, but like
yeah.
or you can make Baron, then summon the Unicorn back, activate Theosis, and your opponent just looks at you.
Yeah, looks at you and cries in
Exactly. Yeah.
on resolution
Just
trigger effects.
absolute despair. But yeah, that was the extra deck.
Very nice.
Nothing really changed. IP might, but we'll see for Rally. But side deck, this is where the Trolls are.
There we go.
I'm debating deleting these entirely, but like I think if Kashtira cards in Snake Eye are still popular, then I might keep them in because they kind of like just like dog the race off start hands.
Sure.
You just like lose immediately. Flu is also a deck. Random decks are also a deck. But I may cut this to 2. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
3 Lava Golem, a good card into like the non-fire decks. Even into the fire decks, I was considering siding it at one point, just because like it's a good card. It's a good card. It deals with a lot of the interruptions, even if it's still a fire for Princess. But I mean,
Yeah.
it still trades with very favorably for you. Like 1 Lightning Storm. It's thrust target. Usually I play 2 of this, but
If you have the
I don't
rest, it
know.
makes sense.
Yeah, 2 Cosmics for the stun decks that I did not see but expect to. 1 Duster, again stun, and then this is kind of experimental, funny stuff that never actually came up, but in theory is good. But I played 1 set rotation and 1 Necro Valley.
Hey
for,
yo!
I
How
was
many
like,
more
okay, in
crimes?
theory, yeah, it's more field spells, and also it gets me this against like whatever. This card's just good against everything
Yeah.
specifically, and like in theory against Fire King going first, I could set this and like just like completely like dog their field spell, but never actually came up. Didn't play it against any Fire King. Didn't draw either of these cards. These cards might become inscriptions. We'll see.
Okay.
I don't know.
Interesting.
For Raleigh, probably they will be inscriptions, and then like one of these rolls will probably become an inscription. But I don't know. And then there's the third judgment here, but I was borrowing Trey's Ghost Judgments for that the tournament, and
Very
I don't
clean.
have a third one. So here's what there's three judgments.
Sure.
They're good. It's the best. It's the best going first side card in your deck. A judgment to the bar twice game 2, and he just had to like scoop immediately. That was kind of.
That's
This
really
is not
funny.
the Mars Lander stream. But
It really isn't,
yeah.
but it's like, yeah, it's Judgment's strong. I mean, we've seen it like Voiceless play it also. And I think like when you lose to mostly like board breakers or such, or just crazy like inherent summons, you just like need something like that. Yeah, no, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. There's even some games where it's like I'll let my opponent resolve the board breakers, and then when they like normal summon their starter, I just flip this and I just like lose.
Yeah,
So like
that's pretty good.
sometimes depends on the deck, but yeah.
So
it
you're
works.
thinking,
Yeah.
so you're thinking then it's just the set rotation, the Necro Valley, and one draw for like Gravekeepers potentially.
Yeah, I have to test it a little bit more, but that's probably what's gonna happen because inscription is just so powerful if you resolve it,
Right.
and like it's I don't know, it's just the best going. I usually like because okay, I usually it's in theory like the decks I was expecting to play against are like Snake Eye, Branded, and Voiceless, right?
Mhm.
It's like you sided going second into Snake Eye, sometimes going first, but like I feel like it's kind of not really worth it at
Sure.
that point. But then against Voiceless Voice, you sided in going first, and then it's like it's just good. It's
Yeah,
a good card.
it's pretty
Good card.
decent.
We'll see.
All right. Well, any last things you want to say? Any? I know you gave shout outs already, but
For your Rise Heart Tills backwards. That's all I have to say.
all right. Well, maybe not that. Well, thank you, Alistair, for joining me today. Congratulations on first place at the Caves 3v3, and hope to see you at the singles tournament since you get that free invite to compete.
I sure hope so. Oh yeah, shout out Mo, by the way.
Yeah, shout out to Mo.
Awesome tournament.
Shout out to Mo in the
Yeah.
cave. Well, anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let us know what you think of the profile down below. And Marty from Team Beige, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.